Hey, this is Chest High Walls Gaming, and I'm going to start this video with a message to my viewers and subscribers. I normally don't like to bloat my videos with intros or outros. I like to get right to the content of the video, but I feel it's necessary every now and then, so I'll only be doing it very occasionally. But I just want to thank all of my subscribers and viewers who are watching my videos. It's really been motivating me to put out content, and I want to continue to provide for those who wish to see more. If you're enjoying my content, make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel for updates on future videos. It really spurs me on to keep them coming. Also, check out joining my community Discord in order to play the game with me and other viewers. I'd love to meet some of you in game so we can create our very own crack husk killing team. Also, if you want to check out my Fortnite streams on YouTube and Twitch, I'll be putting up a schedule of them come August. You can check out the schedule on my Twitch channel, which is in the description, along with the channel's Twitter page and Discord link. So with all that being said, thanks again, and here's what you all came here to see. In this video, I'll be giving my first impressions of the Soldier class. I'll also be putting out some early tips on how to play your role effectively. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you that they have grenades and are good with guns. I'm going to give you actual tips that you might not grasp early on with the class. So the Soldier is the primary damage dealer of Fortnite, and it seems like this game was made for this class being the primary damage dealer over the Ninja. There are just way more guns than there are melee weapons in the game. While all classes can use all weapons, the Soldier seems to have the biggest increases in range damage percentage, as well as ammo efficiency, due to many of their abilities and perks putting ammo back into your inventory when you get hits with them. A praise I have for this game is that there are many subclasses in the actual classes with all the different heroes. You got Ramirez, who is a blend of everything. You got Renegade, who is all about the shockwave attack. You got Hawk, who is about team buffing and support. I'll be going over all of them in my comprehensive Soldier guide, but this is just a first impressions. I've spent plenty of time with Hawk, Ramirez, and Renegade and have a good take on the differences and their strengths in combat. One thing that doesn't change though is their playstyle or their role in the game. They are all about ranged weapons and DPS. Hawk, for example, is a good support buffer for the team, but he still has that range damage boost, so he's expected to perform all Soldiers' roles, and I'll get to those soon. I've had a ton of fun with the Soldier class. I've played the Soldier almost exclusively, and I'm going to find it difficult to switch to the other classes when I give my first impressions for them. Obviously, this is the class you start out with, along with the Constructor, and the Constructor is noticeably weaker in the early game because building efficiency is much less important than raw DPS and husk killing potential. One complaint I have about the class is that the class really only gets serious buffs with assault weapons. They all have that initial ranged weapon damage boost. Some of them have assault weapons damage boost, but none of them have a shotgun boost or an LMG boost, which I find strange. They could have the potential of even more diversity with the different heroes if they put those sort of perks in. This goes for the other classes with their heroes as well. For example, the Ninja class heroes have edged weapons buffs, but one ninja might prefer a baseball bat and other blunt weapons, so that hero gets those weapons buffed. That's just not the case though. There's great potential in that. I hope that comes in the future. So the role of the class is simple, but there are things you can do and ways you can play to maximize the class's potential. This is by no means comprehensive though, just a few things to say about the class that might improve your play. When you first get into a mission, check to see if you have a ninja. If you do, then you should be prioritizing ranged husks. The bone throwers and the witches that throw the bombs should be your top priority. Leave the melee husks to the ninja unless there are none around you. Communication couldn't hurt. Let the ninja know what you'll be targeting and request that he focus on the melee husks. The bigger husks and the beehive husks might give the ninjas a harder time, so those are your second priority. Look over what hero soldiers you have and become familiar with the perks that they have and play them to their strengths. For example, at level 8 on Renegade, his shockwave applies debilitating shots to all enemies hit. So you are going to want to be using shockwave as much as possible, especially on the tougher to kill husks. This is just one example. Another is Jonesy's huge boost to range DPS at level 8 with assault weapons. Use whatever weapons you like, but always have in the back of your mind that huge DPS boost with assault weapons. Always have one on your bar. As a ranged class, you might want to perch yourself atop some crow's nest and snipe occasionally. This is fine, but all of your abilities except for the minigun really require you to be up close and in the fray. The shockwave is great for the bigger husks for the debilitating debuff it puts on them, so if you're using Renegade you should be applying it to those guys if they get too close to your base so that the ninja or other players can easily dispatch them. With your grenade skill, it really is easier to make effective use of it if you don't have to throw it across the map from your nest. One important note, don't forget you have these abilities. They are often off cooldown, and not using them is wasting them. I'm all the time doing this, getting caught up with shooting and forget to use Shockwave, and it really would help out my teammates to debuff the bigger husks. Also, one tip for Shockwave, if you jump and then use it, you'll get a little bit more distance, especially if you jump off of your base. The Warcry ability that some of the heroes have feels a bit misused in the early game. It's a ridiculous buff with a long cooldown, so only use it if a Smasher husk shows up to cause problems. Should make short work of him if your buff hits all of your teammates. But other than that, the ability is a bit of a waste. I don't recommend a Warcry soldier for the early game. Get the Frag Grenade or the Shockwave heroes. They are much better early on. As for the exploration phase of the missions, the soldiers can pretty much do whatever they like. Just try to be around for the encampments of husks to contribute. And always be around for mimic fights. Soldiers aren't quite as easy to explore with as ninjas or as efficient gatherers as outlanders, nor are they really impressive builders like the constructors. They shine during the fight, so you can really go out and loot things or help construct the base if you want. As a soldier, try to prioritize picking up nuts and bolts in order to craft bullets, as you'll be expending a lot of them if you're any soldier worth his salt. This means smashing cars, appliances, and other machinery. Looting toolboxes is always a good idea also, to get nuts and bolts and even other possibly much more rare crafting items. Well, that's about it for the soldier. The game was right to introduce you to them at the very beginning. It's a simple class with a straightforward role. I hope this helped you with playing the soldier, or it got you interested in the soldier. I'm having a blast with the class, but I'm looking forward to a change, so the Outlander is the next class I'll be doing a first impressions video on. But until then, like, favorite, subscribe, and as always, have a good one.